If anybody talks to this asshole's a fucking asshole.
What?
Sorry, crap. I forgot what your thought.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the reanimating stuff on YouTube where they like reanimate old cartoons like Sailor Moon, or there's one of the Mario and Luigi, or like of the Mario Brothers cartoon where like you have like a ton of these. Like, I think it's like 50 or so people like animating specific shots or scenes.
Are they good?
Yeah, actually, there was one that they just did for the Dover Boys, which is like a really old Chuck Jones cartoon. So actually in the public domain too. But like they got 50 people to each do a specific shot or scene, and one of them, like, it was like the opening credits. They did like a shot where it's like the opening to Evangelion. That part where they show each character's face, like.
Yeah, I'll trash talk that show all day, but I can't get that theme out of my head.
Yeah, it's one of the most iconic themes of all time, really.
Yeah.
I'd say it's right up there with Tank from Cowboy Bebop. That and the Pokemon theme to Sailor Moon.
Yu-Gi-Oh's dub.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Because all I can remember that is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Your move! Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. And that's about it.
We could also put One Piece on that list, but it's not for all the right reasons.
That theme, you mean? Dragon Ball doesn't really have a theme. I mean, it does, but they never did it really in the Toonami version. Because I remember, Rock the Dragon, but they didn't really play that every time it opened. Sometimes it would just like cut straight to the opening of the story, or like the recap, like last time on Dragon Ball Z.
I really want, if I ever somehow was able to, if I could have my own recap thing for, like, if I ever wake up, I want it to be, like, the chick who voiced, I forgot a character from Evangelion's name. Crap. The recap lady from Evangelion with the purple hair. Misato. How could I forget that?
And sometimes I'll have a brain fart like that.
Yeah, but, like, when she goes, like, she did, like, at the end of, like, next time on Evangelion, she'd, like, go over, Shinji Ikari grapples with existentialism. Asuka has adult thoughts. Rei is a cold being.
Maybe I'll throw in some fan service next time.
And it just cuts to her sitting in the bathtub, holding a knife. By the way, I've been watching Family Guy skits so I know how not to do comedy, because it's actually very helpful if you think about it. Because but they did this one scene that was almost okay, which was Family Guy in the 1950s. I want to see, like, Evangelion done in the style of, like, Gigantor. Or Astro Boy.
I mean, I would love to see them do an entire episode that's just about paleontology just to piss people off. I mean, people who aren't, like, in that circle, though. And even, like, the people who are in that circle, they'll probably be pissed off.
Oh, yeah, like, fuck. You know how you make a paleontologist fan angry? Breathe. Oh, man. What do you want to talk about today? Because this is the Monkey Bar. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I did want to, like, mention something I forgot about Venture Brothers. Some stuff that I didn't mention in the episode that we recorded. Because it wasn't the last episode, but, like, the one before that. Because I gotta keep in mind, and it's something that I want to fix later, is like, maybe I'll air an episode early, because like we record this stuff like 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So by the time that an episode gets released, it's all like the information about current events is already outdated. So I want to, like, sort of just have a 1 week buffer rather than the 2 week buffer we have. Yeah. It was originally going to be a 1 week buffer, but I got lazy, so we've kind of fell behind.
Dude.
So, but yeah, the Venture Brothers. Like, it has really good music. Like, the opening theme is, like, it's about, like, as iconic as, I don't know if I'd say iconic, but it definitely has the same feel as, like, the opening theme to Cowboy Bebop. And also Team Fortress 2, the music in that it seems like it was, like, heavily inspired by, or no, like, because Venture Brothers came first.
Yeah, like, Man.
Yeah.
Manco. That's just basically Brock Sampson's son's company.
Yeah, if you've read the comics to Team Fortress 2, it's like Venture Brothers meets Looney Tunes.
I really love the universe of Team Fortress 2. Because Aperture Science exists in it.
Really?
Yeah, like, there's a reference that Manco tried buying Aperture Science. So that means, in that universe, that Team Fortress 2 Half-Life and Portal all exist.
You know, I think that it's more like parallel universes, though, because like even with Portal and Half-Life, it's like it seems like Aperture Science mentioned in Half-Life 2 Episode 2 is much different from the Aperture Science in Portal. Yeah. So I get the sense that like thematically they're connected, but like they're separate in terms of like actual taking place in the same universe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also like the opening, like how in the opening to Venture Brothers they mention like when they credit Cartoon Network as the Cartoon Network, so the Cartoon Network presents, and I always think that that's pretty cool. Like it kind of has a certain class to it, I guess.
Yeah. Venture Brothers has always had that kind of class in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it is a parody of Johnny Quest, which had that whole 1950s, you know, golly gee whiz, like World's Fair type feel to it. And it has like an air of cynicism to it in Venture Brothers, but like I think as it goes on, as it progresses, because I actually just got to through the season finale of season 4, and you can tell like the writing really shifts to where they're not just mocking this other property. They've gotten to a point where they're telling their own stories in this established universe that's been established on parody.
Yeah, you from what I've seen, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. Mm-hmm.
And me stumbling through my own words trying to describe it, I've managed to speak the truth, I guess.
Yeah, wait, you're saying you stumble through words. Did you not hear what I just fucking said?
I mean, like, I edit the footage later, so I have to be exposed to, like, every speech impediment and error that I make, like, 5 times. So that's why in the first episode that we recorded, I had that like counter in the corner, because I kept hearing like. It's like this, it's like that.
I just picture that's my own hell. I could never edit this footage, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would love to have a assistant editor just so I can focus solely on my comic and my art, and because that's really the focus right now. I know that Rick, one of the members of our group, he's mentioned how we should put together a highlight reel, a best of, and I'm like, okay, first of all of our shit is crap.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know where to start with the best, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And plus, like that's an extra amount of effort that I'm not willing to put in. Like we rake in about like an average of 10 viewers per video. The one that we put in before the Venture Brothers, as of today, it's gained like it sits at about like 15 viewers for that video. There's no viewers on the Venture Brothers one yet. I think you watched it though, so
yeah.
There's like 1 view. But yeah, it's depressing to think that you should just put in more quality for nobody.
Yeah.
It's I mean there is the idea that more quality content equals more viewers, but really with the algorithm and YouTube and the way it is right now, it's like I'm not willing to throw my hat into that ring. That ring is already a pile of hats at this point. And like YouTube is just the person with the match. And like a can of gasoline is getting closer.
No, she's getting a circle of cars put around. Oh shit, that's a reference to my stuff. I'm sorry.
So nobody's gonna get it.
Shit.
Like that's why you gotta get that story published so
Yeah.
people can start making cultural references to it.
God, yeah, like man, editing I can't imagine editing audio. Because editing words is hard for me, because fuck my novella, because I have 19 fucking versions of every scene, and I'm just like, it's like a snuff film. I'm sitting there with a cigar and a bottle of brandy deciding what goes where, but nothing goes anywhere because it's all bound to fall to chaos. Yeah, I hate editing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about? So, has there ever been a really good toy line adapted to film?
Toy line. I'm not really familiar with, like, in terms of toys Transformers, yeah, but anything outside of that, I can't really think of anything, because all the stuff I'm familiar with is cartoons that are adapted into toys and not the other way around.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say Herculoids, but that was a cartoon first.
Well, I mean,
like it's cartoons made to sell toys.
Yeah.
Because Johnny Quest, that was made to sell toys. Most of the Hanna-Barbera stuff Aside from Scooby-Doo, I guess, like all these cartoons are made to sell toys.
No, every Hanna-Barbera cartoon's meant to recapture Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, there was like 5 of them in like the 1970s.
Or they would use a celebrity. Like
the Harlem Globetrotters or Mike Tyson.
if I ever had the money to, I would somehow digitally resurrect the Harlem Globetrotters for one of my projects. Man,
Yeah, that's a step up from holographic musicians, holographic sports teams.
yeah.
And the 1971 Dallas Cowboys recreating the Super Bowl or whatever. I don't know who played the Super Bowl. I don't care about sports.
That's kind of interesting, like holographically recurring sports stuff, because it sort of reminds me of a TV show that if you say you like, I'll instantly lose all respect for you, called Jurassic Fight Club. Now I want to talk about this fucking bullshit. Because there's a term in paleontology called awesome broing. And let me describe it to you. Have you ever seen a movie where the dinosaur just murders everybody? That's called awesome bro. Where it just goes, roars and scratches, has no feathers, has to show all the skeleton, all the teeth. When in real life, a T-Rex is probably a fat, ugly, vulture-like animal that just walked around and it grumbled at you. It didn't even roar.
Yeah, like I think to myself, yeah, because a lot of monster movies that have like actual animals in them, like they wouldn't play out like that at all in real life. Because they want like, because I think of Jaws, it's like sharks don't attack people like that, especially sharks that big. They go after like what
Whales.
Yeah, whales. Or
Do you know how many calories is in a chunk of whale fat? More than like 8 humans. That's not an actual real number. I'm pulling it out of my ass, but there is more in a chunk of a whale's thigh.
See, now I gotta think like, just come up with facts and say, oh, okay, that's actually bullshit. I'm making that up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, fat is extremely
So you could
nutritious.
launch your solo YouTube career off of that. Just make shit up and add a disclaimer at the end, like saying, "Hey, all the stuff I just said was bullshit." So like and subscribe for more content.
Dude, I'd get like the armchair and I'd sit there, I'd look like one of those classy ass people. but it's sort of true because, fat's very nutritious. That's how animals survive.
Yeah.
Like, the Tyrannosaurus in Jurassic Park wouldn't even eat you. He'd probably she would probably step on you.
Gotta get those pronouns right.
I'm sorry, I respect Jurassic Park more than I just respect the people Rexy's stepping on.
I saw a screenshot of a Spanish Pokemon fan game where you can pick boy, girl, or other. And if you choose other, your in-game spray is an attack helicopter.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I've been trying to be respectful to a point unless you fucking piss me off and I just don't care.
I mean, one thing I've learned is that, like, if you get caught in, if like those types of people, the Tumblr crowd, if they demand an apology out of you, just ignore them.
Yeah.
Because if you give them an apology, that's just blood in the water.
If there's one thing I'm going to say, I don't want to ever be featured. Like, there's a book called Save the Pearls. Have you heard of it?
I think that sounds familiar. Did Joe Rogan write that?
No, it's about a world where there's 2 groups of people and they're classed by melanin.
Oh, okay.
So the black people are called the Coles, and the Coles are perfect and good, and they have to breed with the pearls, and it's really bad. Like, what if the blacks are on top sort of deal? But do you know how much subtlety it has? It has the same amount of subtlety as a tsundere. Yeah, and it's like fucking awful. And like, there's a part where they mentioned that the one black guy, because they don't want having a black guy date the white girl, he gets turned into a jaguar man. He becomes king from Tekken, but still black.
See, that sounds like it could be good if you like ironed out the politics.
You have to have it with nuance. Nuance is what you need. But this person doesn't understand nuance at all. Like, I have trouble with subtext in stories, but fuck, at least I know, don't make it that apparent. I hate that book, and I don't ever want to be featured on a list including that book or anything by Stephanie Meyer. If that ever happens, I'll quit writing, I'll move to Tibet and become a monk. Do you think those Tibets in China have to earn their money, or if Tibetans have to earn money for their monks or monasteries?
I don't know. If Doctor Strange is anything to go by, I assume that they're making some kind of money to have Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Because I'm picturing this guy's going to work and he's talking to this guy. Oh fuck, my manager, I hate him. It's not like he's a Tibetan monk who knows what the. And he turns around and goes, oh fuck. Remember that show Shaolin Showdown? Was that good?
I never watched it, but I think I watched a review of it recently, and they said it was good.
Because I remember that, like, they had this line I really liked where it's like, oh my... No, I remember for two reasons. One was, oh my god, I can't feel my legs. You don't have legs. Oh, cool, I'm fine. And the other one was they have a character who had the same... Or the villain had the same last name as my stepdad. And that made me laugh endlessly because they're both annoying douchebags.
Let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, yeah, movies. Movies lately. Anything coming out?
I might see The Nun. I have a story why. My sister and my mom went to a Catholic nursing school. They don't need to watch the movie Nun. They want to see my response to it. Yeah. Apparently, have you ever met a real life nun?
I don't think so, no.
You don't want to meet a real life nun, like, because like you walk into like the Catholic nursing halls. The best part was my mom didn't know she was pregnant when she got enrolled, and she was obviously showing, and she was not married, and they were like chasing her like velociraptors.
Yeah, I haven't even met an Amish person, and like Ohio is crawling with them.
Yeah. Well, you say that like you flip over a rock and there's like a buggy comes out of a little horse.
Well, yeah, the Walmart right here in Oberlin, they have like buggy parking spaces.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple Amish people in Subway. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to like make any comment, but I'm just feeling savvy to walk out there and give a sub to his horse, and the horse goes, "I wanted meatball, damn you." Do you think if they had the internet, that they would have shit posting in Amish communities?
Oh, I imagine that. Well, I think there's a board on 4chan about farming or about like agriculture.
Yeah.
And I think like because I can imagine like somebody like there's a post on 4chan about like some guy digging a hole and putting a can of tomato soup in there and just, like and then saying, "Guys, my tomato plant isn't growing."
By the way, have you ever like seen Viva Musical on YouTube?
No, like you keep mentioning.
I mentioned it because I was reading these comments like, wow, I recognize all of these different boards and they're all unanimously liking this one song. Because these suckers might not be professional editors, but they can make a damn good... They have the best Todd poster thing I've ever seen. It's Phantom of the Opera, but it's called Todd Howard of Bethesda Games, and it's a duet. Yeah. And the guy can actually sing better than the goddamn movie.
So I assume one of them is Todd. Who's the other guy?
It's just a girl trying to buy, or who doesn't want to buy the game.
Oh, okay. Wait, you mean 4chan can actually talk to girls?
Yeah, I don't know how they got the girl on there. I just like to imagine, like, they walk into the dungeon, give me number 7, they pull the girl out by her hair. So, oh yeah, I picked up a game, Octopath Traveler, because I got the demo and I really liked it. And it's like, I got the Alchemist character, so when you meet a new party member, you have to play through their origin, right? And then you find out that your character may or may not be a prostitute. That's just, it's a may or may not. Guy was like, "Whore, come over here, whore. I'll make this little kitty purr." And he just like this like whoremonger character comes out of nowhere, and it's kind of amazing. Because I didn't ever want to see. I didn't think that they could say whore in a Nintendo game.
I mean, is it explicitly a Nintendo game?
Well, no, but it's like on the Switch. I remember back when they couldn't have swastikas or dogs.
I mean, lately, like with Wolfenstein 2, it's like they had to remove swastikas. And there's actually a Doom mod that sort of poked fun at that. I think it was like a Doom version of the Stanley Parable. It was called like the Stalvern Parable, named after John Stalvern from that Doom. What's it called? Oh yeah, Repercussions of Evil. But like it was like a Stanley Parable, but recreated in Doom. And there's a part where if you go a certain path, you end up in a Wolfenstein level, but all the swastikas have like cardboard over them.
Man,
that reminds me. Oh yeah, when you mentioned like the horse stuff, it made me that made me think, and I haven't thought about this in forever, but there was a game, like the guys who are raising the money for that comic on Indiegogo. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Was the Literally comic? Mm-hmm. There's an Indiegogo campaign. It's probably over by now, by the time that this podcast airs. But they've been raising money to do a comic. The guy is writing the whole thing, and he needs money to pay the artist. And it's a really cool little thing. It's like a parody of quote-unquote SJW comics, where it stars like the main character is a fat, black, short woman character.
She's not a true SJW character unless she's disabled.
Yeah, she's in high school. She has glasses. I guess that counts as a disability. I wear glasses, so I can say that. But yeah, it's like this sort of like written as a parody of those types of comics of like this dorky high school teenager who's a mecha pilot, and it's like really over the top from what I've seen. I really like his writing. I own 2 of his books. I think he's only made like 2 books. There's this post-apocalyptic thriller, and there's the other one, the werewolf porn
That
one
you read?
that I read. Yeah, it's literature. Damn it, it's not porn. But yeah, I really like his work, and it looks like I already donated 100 of my own dollary dues to have my own character featured in the comic, and you can too for the low price of $100.
Dude, if you ever did that for one of your comics, you know who I'm throwing in there.
Well, I've drawn him before, so.
Shit. Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's 1 slot open if anybody wants that. They've already hit their goal. They've already raised like $100 over their funding goal.
What was their goal?
$500.
Oh, wow.
So they're not asking for much at all, but each $100 pays for 1 full page of their comic. So like the rest of it, he's actually going to pay out of pocket if it comes to it. But the thing I was getting to, like getting off that tangent, was there was this video game that they mentioned on their blog called Parasite in City, and it's probably one of the most explicit games I've seen, where you play as a woman who's in this like alone in the city that's been taken over by alien demon parasites, and they're all out to rape her. And like when you get caught by a monster, it like shows like this. It's all 2D pixel art, so
But it's like graphic.
yeah, it's side scrolling, but like she gets like it up the app.
Oh, I heard of this game actually.
Really?
Like, aren't they green tentacle thing?
I think so. And like,
Oh.
there's actually like after you escape from like one of them, it's like shows like her belly swelling, and then you give birth to like a little bee creature that flies away. It's like really graphic stuff, but it looks. I thought it was really interesting from what I saw. I didn't play it, but
I had a weird idea for a game that is one of the most cliche tropes ever. Your character's impregnate with an alien. You have to like get the baby thing safe until it can be safely removed. But the thing is, it's sentient, even at this stage, and it gives you psychokinetic powers. And it's also feeding off your life force. So the longer you go in the game, you start shriveling up, dying, hairs falling out, but you get really powerful.
so it could be like a Metroid spinoff.
Yeah. But unfortunately, no boom laser.
Oh, is you can't shoot lasers out of Yakuza.
By the way, have you seen those Bowsette memes?
Oh yeah, I was meaning to show you because I did one.
Oh, what do you do?
Well, let me show you. I didn't send you this over Discord or anything because I wanted to see your reaction live.
Okay. Like, I saw Danny DeVito, and I was like, oh no. Oh, I hate you. I hate your ass. God. Like, fuck. You might need to send that to me over Discord so I can shitpost.
Yeah, look at it. I shared it on the Vinesauce fan page on Facebook. I got like reactions on both levels. Some people saying like this is the greatest thing ever, and some people saying delete this.
Like, that's a sign that you've done something good, that people are divisive on you. Even if it's graphically, crudely drawn Mario pissing on Bowserette.
I can't take credit for Mario pissing. I can only take credit for the Bowserette.
But, yeah.
And like that one I just like scribbled out in like less than 10 minutes.
Hey, speaking of art, I'm working on a story that can best describe as Jurassic Park but with autism. And I've been having this issue. I want to draw a zoom map, and I've even I've been able, with permission from artists, to take and make these silhouettes based on their illustrations. Now the fucking issue is that I can do a silhouette and GIMP of a dinosaur. I can't fucking draw a zoo map. Like, have you seen like a zoo map that I've been trying like a bitch? Like, vector art is fucking insane.
Yeah, maps are hard in general.
Yeah, like, I can do an okay fantasy map with a pencil and paper, because I run D&D, but I can't fucking draw a zoo map.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason that city planner requires a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, like, I've been looking for, like, city planner, like, things online, and that hasn't been helping.
Like, you can just you can try looking at a map and copying that and altering it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, if it comes to that. I'm against plagiarism. I don't know if it falls.
But I would reverse it. I'm kidding, but, like, I'm trying to take inspiration from, like, Cleveland Zoo's map.
Yeah.
but I'm also trying to make it look shitty at the same time. No offense to Cleveland Zoo, because I've been there enough times. One time I saw a monkey die there. Have you ever been to Monkey Island there?
Yeah.
Well, they used to have a barrel, and I was there, and this little monkey kept sticking his head out, and he like do, and this bigger monkey'd come over and try and slap him, he'd fall in the barrel, and the big monkey's like, where the hell he'd go, and runs away. Well, big monkey waited for him to stick his neck out and pushed it down the hill and broke the little monkey's neck.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
No.
But it does sound funny, though.
It was, in hindsight, because this little monkey thought he was going to get away. I bet like he's like, hey, cuck. He's the basement dweller of apes.
One movie that I saw, or like on the marquee when I was driving in, was I thought it was like when I first saw it, I thought, is that Nun movie still on the marquee? But I looked closer, it was The Wife, and I'm like, what? The Wife? Like, not to repeat myself from the last time we recorded this, but it's like, what is it with all these generic movie titles?
The Meg, The Wife. Well, maybe Meg.
Yeah, The Meg, The Nun, The Wife.
I want to make a collection called The.
Yeah, like that's the next movie that should be made, is The. And it's like a meta comment, or like it's like a producer's style comedy about making the most generic movie possible. But then they release it and audiences love it because they think it's like a meta commentary or whatever.
Do you know what by the way, I've been thinking of the producers, that's Mel Brooks, right? I have found possibly my favorite song ever. It's called Hope for the Best, Expect the Worst. And that's kind of become my new mantra.
Yeah, they say that, and I actually brought in this book. It's a comic that I've been, I think I looked at a while ago, and it's something I've just been meaning to read for a while because, like, it's called Blue Pills. I'm probably going to post a picture up later in editing, but it's like, I read a little bit about it, and it was like, it's about, like, this guy who falls in love with a woman, and turns out she has AIDS, and her kid has AIDS. But the first thing I thought of when I looked at it was that song from Team America. No, it's everyone has AIDS. Oh. AIDS, 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 AIDS. It's the
yeah, I remember when it into play.
Yeah, the Rent parody.
God, oh man, when I see Blue Pill, I was thinking of incel.
Yeah, that's what made me look at it at first.
I want them to make like a hardcore incel comics a parody.
I mean, technically he is a cuck because he's raising another woman's child. I guess that's the technical definition. Because I've been seeing people saying, what's the real definition of a cuck?
Nobody knows. Technically, there should be called cuckoos.
Yeah, that's the reason why, is because like cuckoos like raise other birds' children or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was clever for a moment. Hey, you'd be horrifying if there was a human version of a cuckoo, you walk in there and one day your baby's like 9 feet long and has scales and horrifying things. Oh shit, honey, did you let in the Garganoth? No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And the big reveal, like the camera turns around, the guy's currently like tripping out on acid. But yeah, cuckoos are inherently a scary concept. They break into your house, they eat one of your young, and they replace it with one of their own until it eats the rest of your young, then kills you sometimes if they've been aggressive when they're fully grown. Then they steal your nest and kick you out. Oh man, by the way, do you hear about Chick-fil-A? This guy who's 100 years old has got a lifetime supply of free food. So, yeah,
like how? How'd you get that?
Because he had his 100th birthday there.
Oh, okay.
Dude, they just gave him a $20 coupon, basically.
Uh-huh. And that's what I saw about Bill Cosby, because he's going to prison now. It's like 3 to 10 years. I think that's a pretty sizable gap in between. It's like you can go to jail between 3 and
10 years.
Yeah, but people are saying, he's probably going to die in prison. But, like, I don't know. Like, depends on, like, how long he's actually going to be in there.
I just have this mental image of, like, Bill Cosby sitting in there and this big guy walking. They call me Big Daddy Don.
Want to see my pudding pop, honey?
And then, like, it cuts to him getting Disney falls over and Bill Cosby spits out a bottle of pills.
No, it'd be some guy coming in, hey. Time to be gay.
Oh my god, I want someone to make like a parody of like Fat Albert, but they're all prisoners and guns.
That would be a Newgrounds cartoon. You remember seeing, like, there was a Flash game on Newgrounds, like, about Bill Cosby, and it was like years before the accusations. Because I guess it was like commonly known in circles in Hollywood that he was a sex pervert. Mm-hmm. But Newgrounds, that reminds me, they're actually seeking to raise funds to sort of compete with YouTube now, and in terms of like creating animation. And that it's sort of like a Patreon setup where it's like if you subscribe like to donate $3 a month, then it can be enough to like support this sort of creative endeavor in a way.
I hope Newgrounds does well. It's a big part of my childhood.
Well, the fact that YouTube has been so much like bottlenecking, they've been bottlenecking animation in a way too. You don't really see much animation on YouTube anymore, and when you do, it's like really it's either overlooked or the funding gets pulled, or like advertisers get pulled because one person in particular was Chris O'Neill, Oni from Oni Plays, as he's known right now. But some of his animated parodies were deemed unfit for advertiser revenue.
Yeah, that algorithm is 50 shades of fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least with Newgrounds, I'm hoping that they'll have because it's more of, like, if they're going to focus solely on animation and artwork and stuff, I hope that they have, like, a better screening process where they have, like, actual humans looking at these videos.
Of course you'd need a large group, but it's not like it's owned by one of the biggest fucking multimedia companies in the world.
And with YouTube, I can at least understand, because like there's like at least 1 billion people who use YouTube now, and it's like you got millions of YouTube videos uploaded every single day, so you have to have some sort of automation to it. It's just really imperfect right now.
Yeah. What we need to do is develop like an AI, and what will happen in the future is it's imagine if it was like Detroit Become Human but it wants to kill itself. Why? Catwoman in the litter box. I'm sorry. Do you know that like there's like 40 different options to kill yourself in that game?
Yeah.
There's 40 options for suicide alone. That's kind of,
And so I'm thinking about like all the gameplays I've seen, and it's like, yeah, there are a few like that. I'm not sure about like putting a gun to your own head, but it's like through inadvertent, like the part where Hank points the gun in Connor's face and you can provoke him. But
I had an idea for a story actually. It's a game where your character's immortal. If you die, you wake up the next day, kind of like Kenny, but you have memory.
I was thinking of Groundhog Day.
Actually, that'd be interesting. But because I really want to have a scene where like you could get like an infinite loop of guy puts a gun on you, don't make me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and just after a while, you get so used to how he shoots, you can like knock the gun out of his hand and beat him with it. Oh man, that'd be kind of interesting. It'd be kind of like that. Oh, you know that movie, the Tom Cruise one?
Oh yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, you know that's based on, or that's based, i.e. ripped off of an anime?
Yeah, All You Need Is Kill, which was a manga.
That kind of pisses me off that they can rip off the manga and get away with it.
Yeah, it's like from what I understand, there's a lot of people who like the movie and a lot of people who don't. People who are fans of the manga especially don't like it.
Yeah, like I didn't even know its name, mind you, but I still don't like it when you can just like take something, Americanize, and get away with it. Unless it's really well done, of course, and there's artistic merit of its own worth.
Well, I know The Matrix was originally pitched. They originally just showed the producers the Ghost in the Shell movie. And they turned to the producer and like, we want to make that. And then they ended up like creating their own idea off of using the Ghost in the Shell as a springboard, basically.
I could never do that. Like, okay, show me what you got, and I pull out a laptop playing Jurassic Park, and one playing Duck Dynasty, and I put the laptops together.
Now kiss.
God. Do you think, oh my god, they should do that in the Godzilla movie. Have like Godzilla grab King Ghidorah and smash two of the heads together. I just had an idea for a movie. It's a world where kaiju exist, but they've been captured and almost trained, so you become kaiju pilots almost. But it's no longer a threat for survival, you just have them fight blood sport. So you have like these monsters fighting, there's a guy like, oh yeah, in this round we have a Tamatosaurus, who is a gorilla with one eye and lobster claws, versus the three-headed monkey, Monkinor.
And then the winner of the tournament gets the Toadette crown put on him.
Have you seen the one where it's a Princess Peach putting it on?
Yeah. Or is it the double peach one?
Oh, wait, there's one of those. It just has her melt, and I was disappointed.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. That was actually. Where she turns into like the little monster thing.
Oh, I also she turned red and slime.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one.
I really want the one that I want Nintendo to put Bowsette and Smash the hidden character. Fuck, replace Waluigi with her and I'm cool. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No. You do. You make it like a hidden costume for Peach. You know, you put the Konami code or some shit like that. Oh, my favorite meme I saw of it though, and I laughed my ass off. It's Quagmire leaving Brian's house, but it's Baby Bowser or Bowser Jr. whatever the fuck they're calling him now, and it's Mario's hat and mustache on Brian. Hey, I fucked your dad. God, you know, I can kind of respect some of the stuff Family Guy has tried but failed miserably at.
Yeah.
It's trying to tell a story. Trying.
I don't see it long term, but
Yeah.
in terms of like trying to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, part of me wants to like it because I used to like it, but at the same time, it's just all shit.
I mean, like with SpongeBob, I just stick to the first 3 seasons if I want to watch it and enjoy it.
Like, I told I've been watching the old skits, and I actually ended up watching one from the first episode. Like, oh wait, wow, this is the original because I'm actually laughing.
I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but the first 3 seasons of Family Guy was actually like kind of wholesome in a way.
It was. I miss wholesome but funny.
Yeah, it was actually like more optimistic than The Simpsons was, because it had this sort of like carefree attitude. I wouldn't say wholesome, but I would say it's more like I don't know, like less trying to challenge the system and more just sort of like being sort of ambivalent towards like pop culture.
I miss that.
Because like if you actually listen to the lyrics of the opening theme, it kind of comments on like what its mission statement is.
It does. I love the theme. I like
or
the
mission
music,
what it used to stand for. Now it's sort of become violence movies and sex on TV.
Da, 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 da. It's got good music.
Yeah, I mean Seth MacFarlane is a musician.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Have you ever heard of the Music Man? That's where they got the song Shapoopy from.
Oh, no.
There's a song in there that's called Trouble in River City that's basically rapping on crack, where you have to do this. It's very repetitive, very quick dialogue, but you have to do it like. And the thing is, they had Seth MacFarlane do it, and he said it was like his second time ever singing the song live. He only flubbed once. He said like they mentioned a form of billiards with 4 balls in the original song. He mentioned 8 ball, and that was the only mistake he made in the entire damn song. And there's a joke: once you sing it once, you'll never forget it. Oh, by the way, I had a dumb idea for a game, and this is one that I wouldn't actually think about pursuing. It's Smash Bros. Style combat. And there's a stage. Well, you play as dinosaurs because there's lava slowly rising. So you have to jump on platforms and climb higher and higher while competing with up to 8 other players who are all dinosaur-based animals. The lava is also rising with you. What makes it harder is the higher you go up, the less gravity becomes until you get into space. Then in space, there's a checkpoint where you beat the level. But you get characters like, Stegosaurus can do side attacks really well. Velociraptors and their relatives can jump. T-Rex can throw very well. You could have DLC for like prehistoric sea animals and Ice Age, and I really like this idea, kind of.
I can see it working for a level. I don't know about entire.
Well, not like level, but I like the idea of climbing up or some sort of mechanism like that.
I could see that as like a short like a game jam day, because there's I guess event or something with like game communities called Game Jam.
I've heard of it, like where you have a day to make a game.
Yeah.
I'd like to play with the idea more, maybe just like Smash with dinosaurs, fuck it. But you could have like really unrealistic super attacks, like there's a guy I know named Siaska, he's making his own video game with a dinosaur. You know those Dragon Ball Z games, the new ones they have? It's one of those 3D fighter style games of dinosaurs, but they have I think it's Mapusaurus, who's basically just a long T-Rex. His special move is he does Sephiroth's attack from Final Fantasy, where he does the moon thing. Yeah, he does Meteor from Final Fantasy. It's also the insta-win combo, but it's like 800 inputs. Have you noticed that games have gotten kind of serious lately?
Yeah. I mean, I just finished Spider-Man. And, I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my, it's probably obviously it's my favorite Spider-Man game because I've only played that and Spider-Man 1 for the PS2.
I have a question for you. Would you say that it did a very good portrayal of Dr. Octopus?
I mean, I think so, yeah. I mean, like, it didn't really leave a lasting impression on me.
It's different for me because I'm a huge fan of Doc Ock.
Like, the Alfred Molina version is better.
Yeah, it is. But I also like how they tried combining everything. You know what I did like, though? This level with it, where you go through the college campus and you get all the retro costumes. You have to, like, when you're trying to find Martin Lee.
Oh yeah, the Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just... I like seeing the old retro costumes. You know what I would do if I had to make a Spider-Man DLC for that game? 1950s. And you have, like, the old character designs, and you'd have all the same voice actors, but they have to 1950s it up.
So it'd be, like, retelling, like, Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Yeah, and you could, like, have it worded, like, Spider-Man gets hit on... No, not hit in the head. A scorpion broke out of prison and poisoned him. And the poison is making him blend with what he remembers from the old comic books to create those character designs.
Or it could be, like, Mysterio hypnotizing him or something.
Yeah.
Just have a new villain or something.
Yeah, you know, Mysterio's really underused. I hope they use him. I heard they're going to use him in the movie. They could get away with reusing Doctor Strange effects with him. Because what I would do is, if I had to throw the stones in there, I don't want them to become every part of every Marvel film, but have him get the Reality Stone. That'd be kind of cool. Like, you could, like, redo the fishbowl helmet where it's like it's a neck piece with the stone, and it creates this holographic appearance around his head.
I did like the voice acting in Spider-Man.
My favorite voice actor was Rhino. Chase of Ghouls. He has to say "oh" in every line. Oh man.
Like, it was Yuri Lowenthal who did the voice of Spider-Man. He really, like, he's a veteran voice actor.
Did you know he actually voiced the Lizard in one of the movies? Or cartoon, the cartoon. He was in Spectacular Spider-Man, I think he voiced the Lizard.
Yeah, he also voiced Sasuke from Naruto.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, I saw somebody post a video about, like, Naruto in different languages, and, like, they got to the English dub, and somebody in the comments was like, hey, that's Spider-Man.
No, you know who I think my favorite part of the whole game was? My favorite part of the whole game was that, I liked what they did with Dr. Octopus and Norman being old buddies.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you get what the ending was with Harry Osborn?
Yeah. Is it, like, or I thought he was, like, Venom or something?
Yeah, they're making him Venom, and that's a really cool idea. I would still give some Goblin element to him, like
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that, like, are they gonna call him, like, Green Venom or Gob Venom?
Oh man, no, because here's what I would do. Like, I would do, like, this is probably for a sequel, because they can't put it in a DLC, where, like, halfway through you have a stealth session, like, oh god, and he attacks Eddie Brock, and he becomes Venom. Like, they got the DNA from, like, Eddie Brock's family or some shit. Because I really want a Venom video game, just, fuck. Like, a Venom game to himself and make it a comics Venom, the cool Venom. Yeah.
I hated Mary Jane. Like, not just the stealth sections, but the character.
Oh, yeah, God.
Like, they just made her Lois Lane. It feels like they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
I wish that they had just, like, cut her out and just replaced her with Black Cat.
Yeah, or that. Also, I really like that cop chick.
Oh, Yuri.
Yeah, I like Yuri.
Yeah, she's a good character. I wish that they just focused on her instead of
Mary Jane. Here's my secret. I don't ship characters, but I'd say if I had to pick who we ended up with, I'd pick Yuri. Because they're a good match.
Isn't she, like, in her 30s or something?
No, I thought, like, Spider-Man's in his 20s, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little far apart. Also, I sort of, like, headcanon that if I ever had to do, like, I like the dark suit. Do you get the dark suit?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I see that as, like, in the universe where he became partners with Black Cat.
Yeah, that one. I like the Last Stand suit.
Oh, I know that one, but I didn't get it yet.
What's that from?
It's a comic. It's from an alternate universe. I think it was one of the X-Men ones. He ended up killing, he killed, like, one of the X-Men by accident during a fight, and he had to go on the run because all the X-Men and Avengers started hunting him. My favorite suit that's original, I'm not even going to say the classic suit because that's going to be becoming its own thing now. I would have to say it's the advanced suit, the glowing one. You know what I would have done, like, if I had to do the game? I would add, like, a secret, like, change the story, but don't tell the player if they could, where you could join the Sinister Six. Because that'd be kind of cool as an idea for a comic. Like, Spider-Man becomes a villain. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I remember seeing on 4chan, I read this guy made his own comic about Riri Williams. Do you know who she is?
She's
Ironheart?
Oh yeah.
It's where she kills Tony Stark and becomes a villain, and it fucking sucks. Except it's got almost decent art. Like, you mentioned, you would you say you have trouble with perspective?
Who?
You.
Oh yeah. I would say I'm still learning it. Yeah.
Like someone pointed out, you can tell the guy didn't use a vanishing point and stuff like that. Because there's a part where she's supposed to be sitting with she has her arm propped up on her knee and it's supposed to look like threatening. But her elbow looks like it's the same distance as her neck or some shit, and it looks like she's 2D.
Yeah. Yeah, that is something that I'm trying to get better at too. Is
I think you're good at what I've seen.
Yeah, it's more like dynamic anatomy too.
Yeah.
It's like you need to have a really good understanding of line of action.
Yeah, I know a little bit of the art terms. I wanted to be a comic artist when I was young, but fuck that shit because I'm lazy. Yeah. But, like, I really don't like it when they try and make a character villain just to make him a villain. Back to PS4, because I remember everything I want to say. Miles Morales fucking sucked for me. I hated him and Mary Jane. I'm sorry, I don't like Miles Morales as a character. Like,
I feel like he could be a good character. It's just that they didn't really get him either.
Yeah, they should just, like, if they wanted to do a stealth section, don't do that. Just have a section where you play as the villains. I'd like that idea, where you play as a villain, and then you see Spider-Man coming, and that starts a boss fight. So that would give you grasp of a mechanic.
Well, I was thinking, like, the part after Miles escapes from Rhino and he gets ambushed by the thugs. I was expecting the game to, like, let me, like, fight them, as with Spider-Man controls. But no, there's just a crappy cutscene.
No. That would be funny, though, if it was 3D and you went back to the yard, Rhino comes out. Because I had fucking trouble with that, because Rhino... He may not be able to look over his shoulder, but he fucking knows when you're there. Man, Rhino's a really good villain. I'd like to see them do him in the movie. I'd make him a gamma mutate or something like that, or if a suit uses gamma radiation. And I'd have this, because in the comics they gave him a wife, and his wife is like my favorite thing ever. Because there's even a line in one of the comics where he mentions that he wants to get her a toaster oven. So that's why he returned the fucking criminal. I also like their Ock. I think outside of Alfred Molina, he's the best Ock.
I didn't like how it ended, though.
Yeah.
It just felt like it just, like, stopped. Like, at the cafe scene.
Something... You fucking pissed me off, and this got me mad. Like, it would have dropped my score down to a 9 out of 10. That's how much I like the game. But, like, I don't like what he did to Ock. It didn't feel like how they would have done it. I know because he obviously knew he was Spider-Man for a lot longer, but it wasn't a proper send-off of Peter to Ock. Something felt wrong about it.
I was expecting it to do, like, at the end of Spider-Man 1, where, like...
He accidentally kills him?
Or, like, yeah, where it's, like... Because the part where Dr. Octopus is saying, like, come back to me, Peter, I'll change, I promise. And then you see the tentacle come up behind him slowly.
Oh, no, that would have pissed me off more because... I'm sorry, because the thing is, Ock wouldn't have wanted to hurt Spider-Man. In his perfect world, Spider-Man's his sidekick. Or he's Spider-Man's sidekick. Like, his character has clearly become Uncle Ben for Peter. And I like that. No, like, Spider-Man should, he said, like, get better. I'll, be cool at prison. Or some shit like that.
I have faith in you to overcome what you're going through.
That'd kind of be a cool idea because it could lead to this arc in the second game where Ock is rehabilitating. He's getting used to without the implant.
I mean, he has that, like, degenerative disease, so his body's shutting down.
So, yeah. Also, that would be a really fucking awesome way to, like, bring in, like, the symbiote. Like, oh my god, they could bring back Monster Ock.
Yeah, that might be what they're doing, actually.
Oh, fuck, can you picture Monster Ock in PS4? I'm sorry, Monster Ock is, like, my favorite thing of a PlayStation game. I get excited because, like, I couldn't ever beat the boss. Yeah. If you could pick a suit in a game that you'd like to add, what would you add? It could be original to you or what?
Probably the black suit, the Venom suit. Even though it doesn't make sense from a story perspective.
Yeah. You know what I would add? I would add, like, the Kane suit from, like, I don't know, like, the suit he had when he came back as, like, Spider-Kane. It's, like, black on top. It looks like it's bleeding down into red. Or the Superior Spider-Man suit, because I'm a Doc Ock fanboy. Give me my Octo. Also, did you know that Dr. Octopus wasn't actually meant to look like an octopus at first? They wanted to make him look like a spider. That's why he walks like that. But, like, later on, they said that it looks more like octopus arms than spider arms, and so they just changed it from sharp points to the tentacles.
I noticed how they gave him, like, 4 prongs on each tentacle instead of 3.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about it.
Yeah, like, some fans get angry. He's had a lot of different arms.
Yeah, I can see fans getting upset, and I'm like, it's just a tiny, like, I mean,
No, what would have pissed me off if, like, you know, they gave him, like, a giant hat.
That would actually look pretty cool.
Actually, it would. Like, if you... Man, they should... I want to see a Spider-Man... You know Spider-Man Noir, the comic? Mm-hmm. I want to see a Doc Ock in that universe. I just picture him with the mobster hat, the cigar. He's got, like, a cigar and a lighter. The Noir universe is, like, my favorite Marvel universe outside of 616. Because they had this Luke Cage comic, and they actually really played up Luke Cage, because they had him fight Tombstone, who in that universe who was basically albino Luke Cage, and it was a fucking awesome fight. They also did, like, they did this really cool twist. They did, I'm gonna spoil this comic for you, Iron Man Noir. Guess who they had as Baron Zemo? Howard Stark. He built his own Iron Man suit, and this Iron Man suit was like the Hulkbuster, but with an eagle head, and had jets. And they had this really awesome fight. Man, I really like I like it when it's retro-style superhero. Because I mentioned this idea that I keep having is, like, it's superheroes, but set in a time period they would first start appearing in.
I mean, yeah, like DC The New Frontier.
Yeah, I really like that. Or in
oh yeah, if you'll probably like Marvel's then. That's another good one. That's basically DC The New Frontier, but with Marvel. And it also has art by Alex Ross, so it's like the photorealistic depictions of superheroes.
Oh man.
It's all told from the perspective of a reporter for, I think he works for the Daily Bugle in that one, but it's like, it's all from like the citizens' point of view, with all this like stuff as it's happening in real time. Yeah. So you get like the introduction of like the original Human Torch, like the Android version. You have Namor flooding New York, and then that moves into the X-Men, and like, yeah.
Everyone wants to fucking kill them.
Yeah, and it's like, it has a pretty good explanation, because people always say, like, oh, well, why is everybody prejudiced against the X-Men, but everybody loves the Avengers? And the reason is that the X-Men are unregulated.
Yeah, and the other reason is obviously they're mutants.
Yeah, it's like anybody could be among you who has, like, these terrifying powers.
I want Insomniac to do an X-Men game. Like, you switch between different X-Men.
I can see that working, like with GTA 5, where you have like a character wheel that you can switch.
Yeah, but the issue is that I like a lot of the weird X-Men. Like here's what I would do actually. If you beat a character, like, you could actually change their origin. So you could like have Juggernaut join the X-Men, because I love Juggernaut. Can you picture playing as him? You know, just beat the fucking shit. Like I like characters that are like they're strong characters, like Spider-Man can apparently pull 2 boats together, but at the same time, he can probably break your jaw with a flick of his wrist. Rhino just crushes you in his hand. Also, I didn't like how the boss fights were 2 and 2.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I would like to have a more personal experience with some of the villains.
Yeah, like, it does feel like they were kind of like, their personality is written. I mean, you got like some good voice acting to separate them, but at the same time, it's
they're all
like,
the same.
Yeah, like they're either. I think it was Yahtzee, like Zero Punctuation, who mentioned that you can separate Spider-Man villains into 2 categories. You have the generic sort of thief characters who just want to steal things and hate Spider-Man, and then you have the father figure turned evil characters.
Yeah.
The Uncle Ben parallel, but evil.
You also have his clones.
Yeah, but then
They don't count.
that's like even shittier. They're like, that's like, people don't like to talk about that.
Fuck you. I like their I like the Scorpion of Ultimate Story. I'm kidding.
People say like Clone Saga is the worst Spider-Man story.
It was.
But until One More Day happened, and then everybody just.
I had an idea for how I would do a Spider-Man clone of the MCU. Combine him with the idea of Morbius. Have a creature, or like a clone, that has to feed on Peter Parker, or it will degenerate and die. Okay, that sounds weird, because there's a comic called Spider-Fest, and they basically... Like, my friend showed me, like, wow, this looks like an actual Spider-Man comic until they start sucking dick. sorry. Like, there's some top-notch art in there, except, but my thing is, like, you could play a lot with clones. Clones are really underused well. Like, can you imagine, though, if they did, like, more games with Insomniac for superheroes, I want them to do Cloak and Dagger. That'd be, interesting idea.
I'm not familiar with them, but...
Neither am I, but there's a really shitty adaptation of them going on.
Is that the Netflix?
Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, you suck when you don't even get a Netflix series.
Yeah, because I saw that The Runaways was going to be a Hulu series, and I haven't heard anything about it since.
It got dropped to another program.
Oh, really?
Freeform, I think it's called. You know how much fucking sucks to get dropped down to like that?
It sucks because I kind of like the Runaways comics.
I never read them much, but I think that they should bring them all back on Netflix. Have Netflix be the sub thing. By the way, before I wrap up, I realized what would be the scariest thing to ever work as a creator. Being BioWare Montreal, making Anthem with EA breathing down your neck. Because if they don't even do like 8 out of 10 that they're being canned. I'm just picturing
especially now that Telltale is dead.
Yeah, oh fuck. I read that this morning. I almost was in tears, man. Well, a tear down my cheek. Because they're some of my favorite games from growing up.
See, I never played any of the Telltale games, actually.
I play them. They're the games that taught me that there can be a lot of emotion behind a pixel.
Yeah. I didn't like how, because when I heard about it was that,
They cancel image.
Or no, the choices don't really matter that much.
True. It depends on, like the later games got better at that.
Really?
Yeah, like there's a lot of freeform in the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which would be cool if it wasn't Here's the weirdest thing. It could be good, but there's a problem. They use the comic designs, and my eye is used to Chris Pratt, but the characters are doing impersonations. They're not even good impersonations. Like, his name's Yondu. Howdy, I'm Yondu. I'm a blue alien. And they have to constantly play up his facts like that. There is one funny part where Groot gets sick and he vomits all over the bathroom, and apparently it becomes a forest in there. They never show it, mind you.
Oh, okay.
But you hear him either vomiting or shitting it up. By the way, though, I just have this mental image of Jay Lullaby's comic he does. Just that's how EA looks to a game developer. I'm sorry, man. Like, EA is something that's really... If I ever became a game developer, I'd be terrified of them.
One more thing about superheroes.
Yeah.
Did you get around to watching My Hero Academia?
I started. I some medical stuff came with my family, and that kind of took it off. I've been trying to get back onto it.
What have you thought so far?
I really like the animation. Like, I don't really remember much because I watch it really late at night, but this is going to sound stupid. I like the bright colors, if that sounds cool, because it's got a wonderful palette. Also, of the heroes that I can remember the names of, Mount Lady's my favorite in design. But also, I really, really like All Might. All Might's just the perfect, what do you call that kind of superhero who has to be like the Superman, Captain America mold? Like, what's the...
I mean, symbol of justice,
Yeah.
symbol of peace. That's what he goes by.
But there's superheroes like that who have to fit the mold of
The leader, sort of the one that everybody looks up to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good symbol of justice.
Like, he's Superman done right, as I've said it before, and I always love it when I see Superman done right, because Superman's my favorite superhero.
I actually realize who my favorite is. Spawn. No, older Spawn. Have you read the early Spawn comics? He was kind of talking jive, and that doesn't really, I went to hell. You know what I'm talking about, though, because there's a Spawn Batman comic that also has my favorite thing ever. I keep saying that, I apologize. Where Gotham is across the pond from New York, and then apparently Bloodhaven's in the middle of that. Can you imagine what that fucking ghetto must be like? I had an idea for something it would be kind of like My Hero Academia, where almost everyone has superhero powers. Can you picture what the criminals are like in that universe? I get with a character who has simultaneously the best and worst power. Basically, they have morphological features of a snake, so they can spit venom like a spitting cobra. But that actually is a really fucking sucky power because fangs are fragile. If he gets punched in the jaw, he loses his power. Also, he can venom bend, as he calls it, where he can manipulate the shape of a venom, but that's not really useful unless you're creative. So, like, you know, he can, like, sort of, like, make a snake out of his venom, but really he's just making a spit snake. I have weird characters. If it hasn't been done, I would like to make an encyclopedia of lame superhero and villains. Skunk Rock's their symbol of justice.
That'd be interesting.
Avengers, I haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah. By the way, before we go, I apologize. Did you know that there is a Marvel character whose power is that he can shoot fireballs from his face?
Sounds like Ghost Rider.
Nope, he's kind of like Ghost Rider, but his face is literally a projectile. He shoots fire out of it.
What's his name? It sounds familiar.
I don't even remember. He's an X-Men character, but he's like a weird, like, they're between mutants and Morlocks.
So, like, is he a Inhuman?
No, he's a human, but he's just got a really fucked up power, and there's like a legion of powers that are derisive to himself, so he's blind because of it. His eyeballs melted out.
And for a while, I didn't know the difference between mutants and Inhumans.
Yeah, like, aren't they like space humans?
The space mutants, and they're like their own separate race, I think.
Yeah.
But like I remember because when Marvel didn't own the rights to X-Men, they kept trying to push the Inhumans as the new X-Men, as like because that's the reason that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch weren't initially mutants. I mean, they're like mutates, is what they are, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that also reminds me of a joke that I really want to write down the script where it's like Spider-Man's in a rally for all the superheroes. Like, yeah, and then he calls himself like a mutate, and you hear Wolverine go, "Fuck you, you're not a mutant." No, I said mutate, and it gets this big fiasco. But the other parody I want to do is an MCU parody where it's like one of those interviews with the Bill Cosby victims, and you see him like. And he has a voice modulator. It's like, Mr. Stark first started out by giving me new suits. He started hanging out with my aunt. And, you know, it's like a sexual harassment case, and it's really clearly Spider-Man. And then, like, and then at the end, the next character who walks in is, like, Scarlet Witch. Like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Steve Rogers, you can see, like, the shield, and it's obviously, like, a really distressed Captain America. But at the end, you see, like, Red Skull, and he has the whole beans. Fun fact, did you know that Captain America has only cried once according to the Avengers Encyclopedia? Right. Baron Zemo broke into the Avengers Tower just to burn the only picture of his mother ever taken. I kind of like that in a way.
It reminds me of there was a page of like where like Nick Fury is crying a single tear, but it's colored weirdly to where it looks like he's crying semen out of his eye.
God.
It looks terrible.
Ultimates, is that Ultimates?
Yeah.
Because Ultimates does water and blue stuff weird.
Well, I remember that the Ultimate Spider-Man had like this really weird art style that I still don't like, really.
Kind of anime-ish, but not.
Yeah, it's like it's really weird shading. It's all like bulging and everything. It doesn't look very good.
That Spider comic I mentioned, Spider-Cest, it has a couple pages that are like right out Ultimate. Each issue is done by a different artist.
Really?
Yeah. The whole setup is that Scarlet Spider's a chick, and also they bang.
For some reason, that just made me think of Lightbringer. You ever read that?
Oh, God, is that the Bible one?
No, that's the one that Linkara wrote.
Oh.
Or like he did the art too, and it looks like Chris Chan if he used a tablet. And it's like you talk about bad perspective.
Oh,
it looks when he does cityscapes, it looks like a cubist painting. It looks like basically what's like Chris Chan's backgrounds look like.
God. I want them to work together.
And it has like some of the worst writing. It's like for like somebody who's spoken out against putting rape stories in comics. He has a character. He has a character whose character is specifically she was raped on stage or something in front of people who thought that it was an act. And it's like just the most off-putting and stupid shit. It's like the main character is a pacifist, so like he doesn't even call the police when he sees somebody getting mugged. And then,
yeah, I want to kill the main character already.
Yeah, it's if you read it, you'll definitely.
Does he punch his victims? Does he fight and punch them?
He shoots like light out of his hands.
That's violence.
It's like well, that's sort of his arc is that he learns to use violence or whatever, or something. It's like, it's just really hackneyed and ham-fisted.
Yeah. Before we go,
we keep saying
yeah,
that, but we keep.
I just want to pose an idea for a comic. Avengers universe sort of thing where you have all these different superhero factions on Earth. Villainy done. They've killed every villain. They've stopped every criminal. S.H.I.E.L.D. has the prediction technology. They've killed off all the evil aliens. And here's how it opens. Guys jaywalks. All of a sudden, Wolverine's chasing him down, Punisher shooting, Daredevil swinging. It becomes a battle royale for the heroes to get the one guy.
And like, I actually had an idea for like a My Hero Academia fan comic, because like one of the villains, I'm gonna try and not spoil too much, but like one of the villains gets captured, and he like, it's implied that he's like sent into a rehabilitation program. Like my comic would be about him like going to America and like joining like the American branch of like S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess. Like they sort of recruit him because they think his power is useful, and it's like or it's like in America it's more like Marvel, where like it's like licensing is not as strict. You don't have to go through all these programs. You don't have to go through internship arcs.
This is America. You put on a mask and you shoot people.
It's like, I think of the scene in Black Panther. Like, we do not do that here.
By the way, I'm sorry. Do you, like, one of the things that I remember when My Hero Academia first blew up, I have a friend, or she hasn't talked to me in weeks. I think she probably died. I don't really care.
she probably died. It's fine.
Well, a year. It's like been a year or two, and she's usually on every night playing. She really liked Harvest. What's it called? The new Harvest Moon game, sort of thing.
I thought you were saying Harvester, that FMV game.
I want a new Harvester. I fucking will make it myself if I have to.
When was that game released?
I don't know.
Because I keep thinking it's like the 90s. But like people have been, like a lot of people have been playing it lately, so I keep thinking it was released like recently.
Nope, it's 90s, but they re-released on Steam.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah.
I really love Harvester because it's like, you meet somebody. Hi there, No, have you ever seen the guy who's cut in half?
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I want a new Harvester, but it's like, you couldn't top the original because you have these fucking great nut jobs.
I remember the scene where the sheriff tucks the guy in and kisses him on the forehead.
No, my favorite one. Have you ever seen the character Loomis? He's a deputy. He has this thing where if you like, I don't remember what, but like the hint of a puzzle is his wife chased him under the cellar, was beating him with a broom, and then the harvestman spiders started attacking him in swarms, and they rended the flesh off his back. But it talks like this. And oh man,
What's the thing you were gonna say about Harvest Moon?
oh yeah, it was about my friend who constantly played. God, it's the new Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Yeah. She played that every night for a year, when it came out. Well, the funny thing is that me and her got into an argument over a panel of the manga. Because, they do a thing where they show the silhouette. It's obviously like Wolverine and the Marvel heroes. She said, well, they exist in the same universe. I'm like, no, they don't. Yeah. No. Do you know why you know it's not in the Marvel universe? Like, they'd be walking outside and this is S.H.I.E.L.D., everyone get out. And you just get like a cutscene of like Deku being beaten by Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm. They would probably be like, they would probably know Big Hero 6 in that universe too, because they're Japanese in the comics. They're not from San Francisco.
No, I want a comic that combines every young adult superhero series ever. So, Big Hero 6, you get My Hero Academia, you combine them all, and it's a battle royale of the protagonists.